Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shay's Hobby Dog Bay. Today is Thursday, and it is April the 23rd of 2020. Okay, this is another tag video that I was going to do that's been going around, and everybody I'm watching is doing it, and they're tagging people. I've not been tagged, but I've decided I'm going to do the tag. Okay, so these are 14 questions. Number 1, what is your name and who named you? My name is Sherry Ann Spikes Spillman. Born to Spikes, married to Spillman. That's how I always say that. Everybody else just say Spikes is my maiden name. I say born to Spikes, married to Spillman. I'm an oddball. Okay, my nickname is Shay. My mama called me Shay. She spelled it S-H-E-A. I didn't like that spelling. I changed it to S-H-A-Y. Since learned there's boys and men's with the name Shay spelled S-H-A-Y. Oh well. Anyway, who named me and how I got my name? This is the story I've been told. Mama, Charlotte Becky Young, let me know if I'm wrong. Okay. Or if I got it wrong or whatever. My mama wanted to name me Elizabeth Annette. My daddy was born and had always been until right at last, if I'm not mistaken, not too long ago before he passed away. He had surgery and had his tongue tied, clipped and untongue tied. But he was born tongue tied. That means he did not have a tip to his tongue. It was rounded because that tip was turned under and tied to that little string right there. So that when he stuck his tongue out, it looked like this. I can't even do it anymore because I ain't got teeth to hold it back. It looked like that instead of a tip. So he claimed, there was a lot of words he couldn't say. He claimed Elizabeth was one of them. So he didn't want my name to be Elizabeth Annette. Mama gave in. If I was Mama, I would have said, tough luck, dude. Her name's Elizabeth Annette. Thank you very much. Anyway, Mama gave in and let him have his way. And so, they still had not agreed on what to name me. They just agreed not to name me. Or anyway, Elizabeth Annette. My daddy's daddy, my Pawpaw Spikes, stepped in and said, well, I don't care what y'all name her, as long as you let Ann be part of it. So when he said that, then my daddy said, all right, let's name her Sherry Ann. My daddy has a cousin named Sherry Ann that he had a crush on. And so that's how I got my name, Sherry Ann. When I got old enough, and I first heard that story about my name, and that it was supposed to be Elizabeth Annette, I was so mad at my daddy, I fussed at him, I chewed him out as a little girl, and I made him say Elizabeth, and he could say Elizabeth. Then I started telling everybody, all right then, I'll show y'all. When I grow up and get married and have a little girl, I'm going to name her Elizabeth Annette. And I am so lucky that Albert Earl Spillman agreed with me, because I had my oldest daughter, Elizabeth Annette Spillman, that's fixing to move out into her house, and I'm fixing to get her room as a craft room. She's got her dresser moved out now, by the way. She's still got her bed. Still ain't moved out. Still won't be able to until tomorrow, possibly not till Saturday. But she took her dresser over there because she painted it on her back porch first before she took it in and all that. All right. That was just thrown in there a little extra. That's the story of my name and how I got named. Who named me? Number 2, how many siblings do you have? I have 2 siblings. They're both sisters, so I have no brothers. They are both older than me. My oldest sister, Charlotte Ann, who is Wyoming Nene, used to be on YouTube and won't make no more videos anymore. Nah. Anyway, by the way, her name is Charlotte Ann. We both have the same middle name. She is 11, almost 12 years older than me. Because she was 11 years old. I was born in September. In October, she turned 12. So I guess you could just go ahead and say 12 years older than me. Rebecca Joe, Becca, the Becca JB here on YouTube is the next. I call her my middle sister because it's oldest, middleest, and I'm the baby. Okay? So her name is Rebecca Joe. I don't know why they didn't give her Ann for a middle name. Anyway, that's my two siblings. Okay. Number 3. Were you close with your cousins growing up? Some of them and some of them not. The ones I was mostly close to, my mama had, her mom and daddy had 7 kids altogether. So my mama had 6 siblings, brothers and sisters. But they were all a lot older because my mama was next to the baby. Because it was Uncle JC, Uncle Farrell, Uncle Babe, Aunt Irene, Uncle Bunk, Mama, Aunt Jackie. So they 2 were kind of the babies. So Aunt Jackie's kids, well, actually she has 2 older kids that's older than me. But her 2 younger kids is my age and a little bit younger, which I hung out with. Or Chucky. Back then I used to call him Chucky. And Fabian. The rest of them, Uncle Bunks, Aunt Reens, Uncle Babes, Uncle Farrells, Uncle JC's is all older than me. Okay, so I didn't hang and play with them, but some of their kids I did, which was my second cousins, and they were more my age, and I hung out with them and played with them. But yeah, a lot of them, and we played and had fun and spent the night with each other and stuff like that. Okay, number 4. I don't do anymore because there are no more here for me to do with. But did you have a special bond with your grandparents? Some of them yes, some of them no. Okay, my mama's daddy, which would be my Papa Walker, I never got to meet. I hate it so bad. I wished I could have met him. But he passed away before I was born. Mama was actually pregnant with Becca, I think, when he passed away. If I'm not mistaken, let me know on that if I'm right, Mama. Anyway, so I never knew him. But Mama's mama, Ma Walker, most of my childhood and teenage years, she lived with us. So I was real close with her. I had to be her bed partner at night. She didn't like sleeping by herself. And so I would sleep with her a lot. And I'm going to turn the camera a minute, y'all. My Elizabeth Annette is so retarded, crazy, and weird, and odd. Don't want to be on camera. Anyway, so, what was I saying? See, made me forget now. Oh yeah, Mama Walker. I had to be her bed partner a lot of times. And I can remember one time when I was real little, we lived on the coast. And one night I did not want to sleep with her. And I wanted to sleep in my own bedroom. So I went to my room and I got in my bed that night. It didn't take long. I heard her feet shuffling down the hallway. Before she got to my door, she was saying, "Well, I guess I've lost my bed partner." And then she got to my doorway and stood there and looked at me, and I just grinned. Oh, Lord. So anyway, yeah, but I loved my Mama Walker. And I missed her. She passed away before I got married. I was like, I was 14, 15, somewhere around there, I think, when she passed away. I wish she could have met my girls. I really do. And then now my Gracie girl. Anyway, so then my daddy's, I knew both of my daddy's parents, Pawpaw and Granny Spikes. I wasn't real close to Pawpaw. I seen him a lot, but he was rough. He always, when he would hug me, he always had a scraggly beard, and he would, kiss and gnaw on me, and that scratched me up, and oh, I hated that. He always smoked, and that always bothered me, my allergies and all, the smoke and everything around me, and I just didn't like that. So anyway, I'm not saying I didn't love him. I did. I just didn't like, those things, and I didn't like hanging with him much. But now Granny, yes, I loved my Granny. I used to go stay with her and spend the night with her a lot, and she played with me. I remember one time, and I was a teenager when we done this. I was at her house, and I was bored, and I asked her to play with me. We played like we was friends that lived a long ways from each other. I think I've told this story recently to y'all. And I said, will you play like that you're writing letters and sending them through the mail to me? And so the bedroom was my house, the kitchen was her house, because she would be in the kitchen cleaning or cooking or something. And so I would go in the bedroom, that was my house, I would write her a letter. We had a certain spot on her little bar, and that would be our mailbox, so I would come lay that there. I'd go back to my room, she would get the letter, she would read it. She'd sit down at the table, and she'd write me a letter and put it up there. And then I'd come check my mail and go back to my house and read it. And that was so fun, and I loved that. And I just, my Granny did get to meet my girls, so it was older. I was older and married and had my girls before she passed away, so I knew her. Okay, did you enjoy high school? No, because I never made it to high school. I know, shame on me. Well, I only went to public school for a few years, and then we changed churches, and they got a Christian school, and so I started going to that school, and they was totally different from a public school. They didn't really go by grades. So I was in all my different subjects that I was in was at the level of different grades. So I was like in 2 or 3 different grades in 1 year, So I never really knew or could just say what grade I was in. And I ended up quitting school when I was 16, and the highest grade subject I might have been in was the 7th. And I don't know if that would be considered high school in public or not, because I didn't have much experience with public school. I don't know much about it, especially in the middle. I was only in elementary school and public school. Never made it to middle and high school in the public schools. So I don't even know how all of that works and everything. But, so I can't say whether I enjoyed it or not. Let me see, where am I at? Then it says, hang on, let me see. Okay, that's number 6. What are your hobbies? Oh, Lord. I got too many to name, peoples. I got too many hobbies to name. I love to read. I love to do YouTube videos. I love to watch YouTube videos. I love to craft. All the different kind of crafting stuffs, crocheting, plastic canvas, embroidery, paper crafting, junk journals, just ATCs, cards, tags, pocket letters, all the things, just all the things, altering stuff, craft kits, you name it. I love it. Anytime I hear about a new hobby coming along, I gotta try it at least one time, see if I like it or not. So, too many. Okay, so let's see. Number 7, what do you do to relieve stress when stressed? That's a hard question for me to answer. I kind of really don't understand about stress. The only kind of stressing I do is when I'm in pain, and I don't like it, and I'm a boohooing and crying like a baby, and I'm afraid something's wrong with me and I'm gonna die. I get scared. That stresses me out. Now, my husband stresses me out a lot. I cry with that too, or I fuss, or I just stay quiet and get in another room and get away from him. Uh, I don't know. So I really don't know. Sorry. Number 8. Who is the longest friend you have? Let's see. Now, before I moved from Mississippi to Tennessee, and we moved to Tennessee from Mississippi in 2009, I was still seeing one of my earliest friends off and on every once in a while. Nancy was her name. But since then, since I've moved to Tennessee and then Louisiana and then Mississippi again, I've not seen her. Now, I have talked to her. I got her number here a while back and called her up and talked to her. And I've been texting her. We don't text every day, but every little bit we'll text each other. So I guess you could say her, and she would be my earliest one. The next one would be Sarah, the one I did a video with a while back, long while back. She was actually on the phone. It was like a C. You could see her. I showed her to y'all and everything. It would be her next. Yep. And I'm still in touch with her. Okay. So, number 9. What is your favorite movie? I don't watch movies anymore. I used to. And we have a TV here. The only thing I really watch on TV here, and that's basically because all I watch is YouTube videos. That's what I watch. Okay. The only time I watch TV is if I decide to try to upload a video during the day, which takes my phone away from me, which means I can't watch all my videos that I'm usually always behind on and need to watch. And so that I won't get bored and be bored. I mean, I'll craft, but I cut the TV on and I try to find something fun on there to watch, which is, we have the stations here that has all the little sitcoms I used to love to watch, like Green Acres, Andy Griffith, Gomer Pyle. I can even get the Carol Burnett Show and watch it on there. What else? Petticoat Junction. I like stuff like The Price is Right game show. I get that. I don't watch movies. But back in the day when I did, and you asked me that question, I would say, Footloose. Da-da-da-da-da, Footloose. And I know that wasn't the tune to it. That sounded more like Batman. I'm crazy. Okay. Number 10. What is your favorite book? And this is sad to say, I kind of really don't like it because it was my first love, my first hobby, in other words, reading books. I love to read mysteries. But since my surgery, I have not done much reading. But I love mysteries. I love the cozy mysteries. So it's hard to say. I got started on those by reading Nancy Drew books, and I still love to read Nancy Drew books today, Well, I haven't in a while, but what I mean is I wouldn't mind picking up a Nancy Drew book and reading it. So, just to say one favorite book, I just like all the little cozy mysteries. Okay, let's see. 10. Favorite thing to do on a stormy day? What I always normally do is stay in the house and do my crafting and watch my videos and make videos and upload them. That's all I ever do. That's all I love to do. It's all I want to do. So, that. And then it says, favorite thing to do on a perfect weather day. Everybody else has been saying go outside. I have never really been much of an outside person, especially when it's real hot or when it's real cold. But if I can get it perfect in between there, which I've had some days like that where it's a nice cool breeze. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. And it's a time of the day there's not a swarm of gnats flying all around right here in my face like this and getting my eyes and in my mouth and up in my nose. You know, I can handle it. I like to go out and maybe sit on my porch or walk down the road a little bit and come back. And yeah, I love the birds. And when it's springtime, because that's the weather, the season I love is spring. So I love the pretty flowers and I love the birds. And I love to listen to the birds. I love to watch them. I love to watch the squirrels. And it's just so fun. So that's what I would like to do, I guess, on a perfect weather day. All right, number 13. Do you prefer the big city or small town? I've lived in small towns all my life. I would prefer a small town to live in. I've been in big towns, passing through and visiting and, on vacations and stuff. And I have seen and I have heard about big towns. As far as to live there, like places like New York or even New Orleans, too much traffic. It would make me too much nervous. Nope. So not to live there. I would prefer a small town. But to maybe go on a one-day visit. Things intrigue me about the big cities that small towns don't have. For instance, the people that ride taxis even, or the buses that will take you around town, or the subways, kind of stuff like that intrigues me. If it was a perfect, safe world where you didn't have to worry about pickpockets, murderers, all that kind of stuff, then yeah, I would love to experience those types of things for, say a day or whatever, because stuff like that intrigues me. But to live in it, no. I want my small towns. Okay. All right, number 14, which is the last question. What is the first thing you want to do when this virus gets over or in control? I want to completely forget about it. It'd be totally out of my mind where I never think about it again, so that I won't even be scared, because I'm afraid that even when it's over and they say it's over and that the lockdown is unlocked and we can get out and do what we want to, I'm still going to be scared to get out there and around people and do things. But I'm going to want it to where I'm not like that. I'm not scared. I'm not thinking about it. It's just like totally before, like it never was. And I can go to Dollar Tree and shop, and I can go to Walmart and shop, and I can get Katie to take me to Hobby Lobby and Joann's and Michael's or wherever else Tuesday mornings to do some crafty shopping and out to eat. Yes, that's what I want to do. When I'm not, like I said, I have to be not scared, not thinking about all that. It's all gone out of my head and, way long gone. Never happened. Which probably ain't never going to happen. Okay, that is my tag. And like I said, Becca, Audie, that's the two I'm going to name. You don't have to. Anybody else out there sees this tag? Feel free to do it if you want to. All right, that's all I have for you for now. So I am out of here until next time. I'm going to